A very real day zero scenario looms large for the people of Knysna. Bad seasonal rains, claims of a lack of water infrastructure maintenance, and the usual mix of, you guessed it, poor politics means taps are on the verge of trickling to a halt. We catch up with News 24 journalist Velani Ludidi, who spent 3 days on the ground in the drought-stricken tourist town.
There was one particular person who said that people connected to the politicians, and some of the politicians divert water tanks to certain areas. There are councillors who are accused of prioritizing the people who voted for them, which is why we need organizations like the Gift of the Givers, because they are apolitical. When I drove with the Gift of the Givers, we just went area by area, not because we know a certain person there.
Later in our trending topic, a swole thief is targeting CrossFit gyms in Jozi, not necessarily for the intense workout, but for your cell phone. And finally, a famous pirate was spotted off the Cape of Good Hope on this day in South African history, heard at the end of this show.
New episodes of The Lead air Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m.
In Rauby's pointless Braai quiz for today, here's our question. In a controversial move, the African Cup of Nations will now be held every how many years? I'll give you the answer at the end of the show, and who knows, you might score a big prize. Don't hold your breath. I don't have the money for it. My name's Graeme, this is The Lead, and this is the South African story. Well, our Cape Town journalist Velani Ludidi is live on the line now from Stellenbosch. He's undertaking his studies at the moment, and he's joining us for his debut edition of The Lead here on News 24. He's just spent 3 days down in the Southern Cape in Nisner, where the water crisis looms large. Velani, unjani?
Diapila, unjani, Graeme. How are you, my friend? Fantastic.
Great to have you on the show, my brother. How bad is the situation in Nisner? Were you able to use the toilet? Were you able to have a shower? There's strict restrictions there at the moment.
Yeah, luckily the hotel I was in was not affected, but it is bad. I can tell you now, most residents who do not have buckets or tanks are relying on water tanks, which is done by the Gift of the Givers, and other tanks hired by the municipality. It's dire, and as it stands, in the next 9 days, Knysna will run out of water.
What's the backup plan? Off the top of our heads here, I mean, the municipality itself in Knysna has come in for a lot of criticism for not plugging the leaks soon enough, for not seeing the early warning signs. To your knowledge, just based on what you experienced on the ground, are you confident there's a backup plan in place here?
I must mention this. I was in Knysna in May, and it was the same situation. People were getting water from water tanks. Gift of the Givers was also there delivering the water. So part to blame is, I think it is the administration, but also Knysna has an ailing infrastructure. It's old and it has not been upgraded. And also with the weather conditions, they've experienced drought. Little rain has come in the area. So they are more dependent on groundwater. But what they have also failed is to maintain or even try to have those boreholes. You know, this weekend when I was with the Minister, Pemi Majodina, we visited boreholes which some were damaged, some were abandoned, and which is why she's coming up with 20 million rands so that they can at least in this week and the coming week, they can try and revive those boreholes. But also Nisner saying that the long-term plan, they need 127 million rands so that they can at least know that they are out of danger, out of day zero. You know how day zero it is. We've had it in Cape Town. But I do feel like already Knysna isn't day zero, because for taps to have water, there has to be a donation of water by the water tanks. The reservoirs are being filled by water tanks. So the taps are running dry, which is kind of hectic for the people who are there. I spoke to some residents who were saying that they've stopped using the loo. Now they're trying to preserve the water they wash with. Others have stopped taking showers. They have to wash from buckets because there are no water on the taps.
Yeah, Velani, there was this public meeting whereby the water minister, as you say, Ms. Pemi Majodina. She has pledged, I think, 20 million, according to your reports, to help alleviate the crisis. Although, as you say, the municipality wants 127. I don't know how they're going to get the shortfall sorted out. But at that public meeting, some of the concerned residents came out and were quite irate, and they've accused the local municipal officials of diverting water tankers to their homes. Is there any truth in those claims?
There was one particular person who said that people connected to the politicians and some of the politicians divert water tanks to certain areas. There are councillors who are accused of prioritizing the people who voted for them, which is why we need organizations like the Gift of the Givers, because they are not, they are apolitical. When I drove with the Gift of the Givers, we just went area by area, not because we know a certain person there. But the municipality also condemned this and said that, including the minister saying that if anyone sees this happening, they should try and record using their cell phones and report it so that they can take action.
And I mean, it's something we've heard before, right? Residents go, I'm happy for the money and the funds or the taxpayers doling out to rather go to the Gift of the Givers because they put their money where their mouth is. They walk the talk. They do the work that's required. I mean, this is a story we've heard many times before, right?
So there are concerns with how the reaction of the municipality and how they are communicating this crisis. There's no agency, according to the residents. And I think it's something that the minister also picked up to a point that she even suggested that after this Sunday meeting, that can all councillors, also MMCs, go to churches, because that's where most people gather, go to places where there are people and actually relay the message about what is happening and what the municipality is doing, because what she felt on the ground was that people were confused. They know that they have a crisis, but they don't know what the municipality is doing. They know that there are water restrictions which have been implemented. So, and also there are concerns that the money will not go to its intended use, with someone suggesting to News 24 that can the money be channeled through given to Gift of the Givers who are already doing the job for free. And also another concerning thing, there was a spring a borehole which is flowing water, but that water is being thrown out because the tanks that they are filling is supposed to fill are full, but now the municipality has not connected that to the main system. So all that water is being thrown to the drains, it's being lost, yet this town is facing a drought. And that has been also one of the other issue people raised when I spoke to them, saying that it takes days for the municipality to react to water leaks, to fix pipes, and which is why the business chamber was suggesting that look, they can try and find some plumbers who can go to those small leaks and try to fix them while the municipality goes to the bigger ones. But also municipal managers telling us that they have a lack of skills. They are failing to secure or even attract skillful people to come and work into Knysna. Salga representative saying that they will approach Kokta to maybe try and create a fund where these skillful people that are needed in Knysna can be funded through Kokta so that they can, I think, offer better salaries so that they can, because remember, Knysna is a small municipality, which I think maybe they are not offering like competitive salaries. But there were a lot of suggestions also partnering with TVET colleges so that those kids who graduate can immediately just go in, because, I mean, I was looking at a plan. They are lacking plumbers. Me and you might think, but plumbing is something so common in Cape Town, but they do not have plumbers, which for me, part of the plan which they delivered on Sunday was that they are going to hire 5 plumbers who are going to assist the municipality going forward.
And let's give credit where it's due, right? There is a larger authority, provincially based joint organising committee that has been working very hard behind the scenes with various stakeholder meetings to plug a lot of the leaks, to ensure that the water quality is still of a good South African standard. They've also done a lot of work to ensure that there's no more E. coli in the local estuary, which has also been a resident's concern for the longest time now. But what happens if 9 days from now, the taps go completely dry. What is the plan?
There are boreholes which are working. So the water tanks are collecting from those boreholes. So when we look at their main dam, which is the Roof Dam, it was below like 16%. It also vandalized, because that's the other issue, vandalism on infrastructure in Knysna. So at the moment, they are hoping that the 20 million grant, which also, because the minister is saying that she will have to appoint an agency, which is Overback, to actually oversee that implementation, because, again, we speak to that fear that the money might be misused. And also because Overback has a water board, which they have the necessary skills to do this. But I think for now, it's hope that the boreholes will work perfectly fine, and then they can get water, groundwater. And then I think they have 5 boreholes which are already there but need fixing. And if they get those up and running, I think then they will be able to survive. But the longer term, which they've spoken about, is having a new dam. I mean, that discussion started from 2002. Again, it was abandoned. We see the other issue with Nisner, it's been this change of leadership where it was run by the DA coalition, but now it's been run by an ANC-led coalition. And the senior managers have been acting for quite some time. I think they recently hired now a permanent manager, which also was highlighted as some issue because there's no stability. Projects are approved when is a certain senior manager, that then their contract ends, another one comes. Now, when we're asking about that certain projects, someone just says it was before my time. There's no accountability, which is something that the mayor said they are trying to actually have a mechanism where there is consequence management, which is the minister also alluding to it, that it is missing in Nisner.
Yeah, Velani, just to end off, I mean, it's summer at the moment, it's hot. I can't foresee that there's going to be suddenly these miracle rains that are going to suddenly turn the situation around for the Southern Cape Town. I fear that it's only going to get worse before it gets better again, even if there's these boreholes in place. We really are staring down another 2016-17 day zero crisis like we saw in Cape Town. When are we expected to see better rains? I can only imagine closer to the middle of the year, as per how the forecasts go. What do we know from the forecasters?
I must also first mention, when you're talking about the worsening situation, on Sunday, while we're also in Knysna, a ring came. Pito municipality reached out, which is the neighboring town in Knysna, reached out to the gift of the giver saying, look, we've just checked our water. We have 40 days of water left. So we're just reaching out to you so that we can plan early, not be like Knysna where you guys come in when it's a crisis. So yeah. I understand that the gift of the givers will be sending some teams to assess the situation and see if they can't drill any boreholes, because Pito, it's also facing a crisis. The whole of Garden Road has been experiencing some challenges. So when we looked at the forecast, the next month, which is February, it's going to one of the hottest months, which for Knysna, also the garden route, it's going to be challenging. They are only expecting rain in April. So the next two months will be critical. It will be hopefully, if so, Knysna has already applied for different grants. If those get approved, they might hold for a month or two, and then we expect some rain. I also spoke to another forecaster who was saying also Knysna might actually experience some flooding when the rain comes because of the climate change we're facing. We're seeing also up north in Limpopo, where when the rain comes, it comes hard, and also when it's sunny, it's too sunny. So it might also get that, but the other issue, it's storage. Knysna does not store water, which was one of the issues highlighted. There are water which should be going to dams, going to storages, it's going to the lagoons, to the sea, because they do not have any storage facilities. So I think it will take an honest municipal leaders who will take the money and use for it, what it's intended for, and also just, I think, plan better and try to purchase what is needed, not what you think is needed. I'm glad also that I must also mention that they are doing a feasibility study, which I think we're expecting those results in the next month about a dam, how much it will cost, and also what can they do. So there are those plans.
Yeah, let's hope that dam project is not like the Clan William one that, they've been trying to raise that wall for many, many years now. It goes back to even the late 90s, early 2000s. They've been trying to raise that wall and they still haven't been able to get it right. That's a story for another day. Just end off here, Velani. Oftentimes when you think of Knysna, we think of the tourists. We think of all those travelers that come over the festive season. And I previously heard how they actually had to send out naughty letters to some of the big houses in Knysna that have been guzzling a lot of water during this difficult period. But we forget about the 60-odd informal settlements, the townships dotted around the Knysna area that also rely on water during this time. What is that sense that you got from people on the ground? Are they very concerned? Are they terrified of what, a looming water crisis of no water at all would mean for them?
It's desperation. When we entered driving in the water tanker, the minute they see that truck, people flood the road carrying buckets just to collect that water. And we were doing some assessment, driving in a small gift to give us car, which is a bucket. People are already asking, are you guys bringing us water? And we were just saying, no, we're just looking where are we going to stop when we come. So that is the desperation that is happening. So water tanks are their only source of clean water, drinking water, and they have lost hope and also confidence in the municipality because they're saying they're clueless. They don't know what's happening. They don't know what the municipality is planning. And also, my other concern was there was also a community meeting, people who raise issues. There were some officials who, instead of responding or trying to address what the person say, they just picked them. Oh, we know so-and-so voted for a certain party, which for me was kind of disappointing. I mean, when you are elected in office, you are supposed to serve each and every resident, not people who voted for your ward, which also brings back to that question of certain councillors who are directing water tanks to their own wards. But people in Nisner are desperate for water, and I'm glad that the organizations like the Gifts of the Givers are delivering 100,000 liters per day. They've been doing this since 12th December, non-stop. When I spoke to some of them, the workers, they're saying they don't even have time to do simple things such as laundry, which is why the Gift of Givers had to hire people to do their laundry because that's how busy they are.
Sure. Nkosi kakhulu. Iba Imnini Mnandi, I really appreciate you being on the lead in 2026. May it long continue. We continue to have great updates with you and yourself. I know you're busy with the studies at the moment. Godspeed, sir, and thanks for the update on Knysna. It's a perilous situation.
Thank you so much, Graeme. Thank you.
You're listening to the latest edition of The Lead on News 24 with Graeme Rowenheimer. If you've got an opinion on what you've heard so far, drop us a short voice note on our WhatsApp hotline. That's 072 562 3179. Trending topic.
To our trending topic now, the man claims to be a CrossFit junkie, and maybe that much is true. He signs up and he does the workouts, but watch out. He's also eyeing your lone cell phone. As News 24's Candice Besaidenote reports, this sneaky swole thief has been doing the rounds at least 10 CrossFit gyms in Johannesburg over the past couple of months or so. The man claims to be from Cape Town and usually takes part in the 40-minute workout before going on a walkabout and snatching your belongings when you're not looking. And usually he ducks out just before a class is meant to end. A manager at Gold's Gym in Sandton has sounded the alarm on the serial CrossFit cellphone snatcher, not before another gym security guards in Rosebank tracked the criminal down to Kempton Park, where he allegedly tried to pawn off the phones to unsuspecting buyers. Gauteng police say they're now formally investigating, but the mobile robber appears to be leaving no digital trace when he signs up to a CrossFit gym near you. For now, this thief never misses leg day, because he's still on the run. Get it? I'm sorry. Drop us a comment below.
And finally,
ending off now with On This Day in South African history, that's the 20th of January 1697. Well, on this very day, the ship of Captain William Kidd, later one of history's most notorious pirates, was reportedly sighted off the Cape Coast. Kidd had begun his career as a privateer in the service of the English crown, and he was tasked with hunting French ships and pirates. But the mission went badly wrong. Disease ravaged his crew, his hunt for pirates failed, and in desperation, Kidd captured another ship, the Kaidach Merchant. It's a richly laden Armenian vessel captained by an Englishman at the time. Now, that single act turned him from privateer to pirate in the eyes of the law. And Kidd was finally arrested in 1699, convicted of piracy and murder, and hanged in London in 1701. His legacy, though, lives on in legends of buried treasure and debates over whether or not he was truly a pirate or just a scapegoat of British Empire. For Rauby's Pointless Braai Quiz today, we asked the question, in a controversial move, the African Cup of Nations will now be held every how many years? The answer is 4, which comes into effect after the 2028 tournament. Patrice Motsepe, of course one of Africa's richest persons, has come out defending this move as the president of the Confederation of African Football, arguing that the shift from 2 to 4 years was not because of any undue pressure applied by FIFA. Now, if this was your answer all along, congratulations, you score absolutely nothing. Nada, not a single thing. Except the quiet satisfaction of sounding very informed around the Braai place. And hey, some say that's pretty priceless indeed. To be reminded of each episode, of course, hit like, follow, and subscribe on all of our various platforms, wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple, YouTube. That's where you'll find The Lead on News 24. Not to be confused with that other lead show over in the United States. This one's born and bred right here in Mzansi. My name's Graeme, and so long as there's trusted news first, we'll always have The Lead on News 24.